Hey gamers, so Nintendo randomly put out a surprise news drop for Splatoon with not just a new game, but also a big update for Splatoon 3, which is crazy. So yeah, let's just talk about it. Funny thing, I woke up like at, I don't know, close to like 2 p.m. In the afternoon, because my sleep schedule is messed up. And I stayed up till like 5 a.m. I think this was announced like at 7 a.m. So I could have seen it if I stayed up a little bit longer. But I saw like my Discord was blowing up. Which you should totally join our Discord server, because a lot of people were messaging in the Splatoon channel that we have about there being big updates for Splatoon, and then I'm like, what? So then I saw that apparently it was on the Nintendo Today app, which was the first time I've ever actually used the app. I could have used YouTube, but I just saw a Reddit post that was like, oh, it's only available on the Nintendo Today app. So it was uploaded to YouTube eventually, and by the time I woke up, it was on YouTube. I didn't realize that. Anyway, I checked the Nintendo Today app, and that's where it was first posted. So that's kind of funny. The first time I ever used that app, because it's been kind of useless up until now. But yeah, I saw the trailer. It was 5 minutes. You're seeing it play right now, and it's crazy. First of all, we're getting Splatoon Raiders, which is a spin-off game, which is what I've been calling for. Let's go. I was right. I made a whole video talking about how, Splatoon should get a spin-off before Splatoon 4, the next mainline game, and we're getting it. And not just that, we're getting more of Deep Cut. Deep Cut was severely neglected in Splatoon 3 because, Side Order, the DLC, was focused on Pro Marina. The Squid Sisters were focused on every 3 of the main campaigns for Splatoon 1, 2, and 3. Deep Cut was kind of neglected out of their own game. They did the news announcements, and they had some lore drops here and there. They were kind of featured in the main story for Splatoon 3, but, not majorly. But this game is going to be focused on them, along with a new character called the Mechanic, I think, which is us, the playable character, where we're helping them out, doing something. We don't know exactly what kind of game Splatoon Raiders is. I've seen some people say maybe it's like a collecting type game where you have to build up a base or something. From the gameplay we saw, it looked like it was an actual Splatoon game, but like maybe focus fully on single player stuff. I don't know if there's going to be online. I kind of hope there isn't, because I love the single player offerings of Splatoon. Online is great and all, but I really do think a spin-off that focuses purely on single player is what we need, and it looks like we are getting that. I'm so happy that I called it. This is not the first time I've called something, by the way. I've called Xenoblade X coming to Switch, for the 10th anniversary, which, this was like a similar thing that I called, call me Sulk, because I can see the future. Like, oh my god. But of course, that's not it. Oh, I should also say, that game is coming out exclusively for Switch 2, so, I don't know when it's going to come out, and so we'll hear more information about it soon enough. But yeah, you better get a Switch 2 soon enough, which I need to, especially because I don't have one right now, which sucks, because this next update is for the Switch 1, but it has benefits for Switch 2, and it's coming out. In fact, by the time you watch this video, it will be out right now. That being version 10.00 for Splatoon 3. This is what we wanted. This is third kits, which most people have given up hope. I still had hope that we were gonna get third kits. I never got rid of my selling licenses. I had like 20 or whatever, because I was thinking that's how many weapons we will get if there was third kits. Nope, we're getting 30, so I need an extra 10 more. So that kind of sucks. But, I did save up most of them, and we're not just getting third kits, we're getting Urchin Underpass. The stage that never returned is finally returning. Now, technically, there's another stage, Salt Sprig Rig, I believe, that's still stuck in Splatoon 1. But Urchin Underpass was the main thing, because it's the stage that I feel like everyone thinks of when they think of Splatoon. I mean, it's in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for crying out loud, and it's finally showing up in Splatoon 3. Let's go! There's also new badges. There's like some new stuff for like our Anarchy series, and for Switch 2, there's updates for visuals or whatever. There's not like anything like a 120 FPS or mouse mode. I do think having those will be kind of having an advantage for Switch 2 players, and that's not what Nintendo wants. You know, you don't want to have a pay-to-win option at Splatoon. To have a Switch 2, you get this better performance and ability than the Switch 1 players, you know. If this was like a single-player game exclusively, I could totally see Nintendo doing that, you know, because it's not giving you an advantage over other players. But since this is a multiplayer game, yeah, it makes sense. Even though I was thinking maybe they wouldn't do that for a Splatoon 3 update, but now thinking about it, yeah, it's probably not right for a multiplayer game. You know, maybe, you know, for Splatoon 4, I feel like they will have mouse controls, 4K 120 FPS, since, you know, everyone will be on the same console with that game. But, you know, we're still getting some big updates. And again, it's coming out in 2 days, which sucks for me, because I don't have a Switch right now. If you watch my recent gameplay video that was also like a channel update video, I talked about how I traded in my Switch 3DS and Wii U towards a Switch 2, which I will be getting in like a few weeks. And it sucks because, you know, I don't have a Switch right now. I can't experience the new stuff that's gonna be out today if you're watching this video. Oh my god, I feel so, like, unlucky. What's with my luck? This has happened before with Splatoon, though not to a major degree, where there was like a Splatfest and some challenges that I couldn't do, that were like barely announced, and I couldn't do for like a month or whatever because I didn't have the game. Eventually I got the game back, and I was able to do those challenges in due time, and we got a Splatfest rerun. I believe it was for Splatoon, although it wasn't exactly the same, you know, because it's kind of remixed. So I kind of missed out technically on that original Splatoon thing. But anyway, my point being, this has happened before, but this is to a major degree with like actual substantial new content for Splatoon 3, and I can't play it until probably like a few weeks from now, which is so annoying, bro. But, you know, I'm happy that it is happening, and I am happy that we're getting a Splatoon spin-off, you know? These are all great things to randomly get revealed. It makes me wonder if there's even going to be a Nintendo Direct this month. I thought for sure there would be, and I feel like it's very possible we are still getting it, because Nintendo has done this before where they drop some like big announcements and then people are like, oh, I guess a Nintendo Direct isn't happening, and then surprise surprise it is. I feel like that is gonna still happen. Maybe they dropped this early because of the fact that, particularly with Splatoon Raiders, maybe Nintendo thinks people will be mad it wouldn't be the next major one, so maybe that's why they dropped it early. Although I don't know why they couldn't do the Splatoon update thing in the Direct. Maybe because of the fact that it's going to be way later and they wanted to have both of these come out at the same time. I don't know. But I feel like there's still a chance for Nintendo Direct to happen, but I will say it's less likely now with this. But overall, I'm so happy. You know, it's a great time to be a Splatoon fan. I'm hoping we see more updates for Switch 1 games. You know, I want to see the Xenoblade games get updates for Switch 2. And I will be definitely checking out Splatoon 3's version 10.0 update when I get a Switch 2 eventually. You just gotta be patient with me. Oh my god, of course, when something good happens, something bad happens to me too. But anyways, guys, I think that's gonna be it for me. I'm so happy that I was right about Splatoon Raiders. You know, I wanted a Splatoon spin-off before Splatoon 4, and we're getting it. And I wanted third kits, and we're getting it, you know? I never gave up hope for third kits. I was kind of like thinking it might not happen, but I still had a sliver of hope left. That's why I never traded in my Zelda licenses, though I still need a few more, you know, which I'll probably just get, you know, getting most of the weapons and then using like 10 of them to get the remaining Zelda licenses to get the last few weapons. It's just gonna be a great time when I eventually get it. If you have Splatoon right now, if you have a Switch right now, or Switch 2, hope you guys play a lot of Splatoon for me when this video releases. It's sad, but, you know, we'll play it eventually. I still can't believe it, man. And, you know what? This could be viewed, actually, as, like, a 10th anniversary celebration for Splatoon, which recently just hit it, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago or something. So that's crazy. You know, I love when Nintendo celebrates anniversaries. You know, they did it with Splatoon, with Xenoblade, with X getting ported over to Switch. Now, where's the 40th anniversary for Mario, Nintendo? I'm sure we'll hear about that in like September, right? But yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, play some Xenoblade, guys, and I'll catch you all next time for more. Peace. I'm so happy, man.